You want to know how you should properly chain barbs in KVK and how you can save up thousands, if not hundreds and thousands, and maybe even millions of action points? Well, stick to the video. But before we go ahead and start the video, what's up going guys? My name is Nico and I welcome you yet to another video. Today guys, we're gonna take a look at the absolute cheapest and best way how to save up millions of AP points, literally millions of AP points, while doing just a very simple trick, and it's called a so-called barb training. What does it mean? It actually means you will find, if you just scroll the map like this, alright, you will see, for example, just right here, there are two barb marches, you can say that, are very near to each other. You will use your march that has some AoE, and later in the video I'm gonna tell you the best possible marches for it, and you will point it up here and you will start the march and you will try you will apply till it hits AoE damage to hit actually even the second barb march. As you have seen, it has just missed the AoE, so you can drag your march a little bit closer to that barb, and now look at the active skill, and the AoE just hit the march, and now the two barbs are hitting my Richard I. How did I do, and why is it this way the best way you can actually barb chain? There are several ways how to actually barb chain. I mean, the easiest way is just to do you have seen, just these two, and you will get, like, I don't know, the cost of one barb chain of one barb is like 50 action points, and right now I have I get, how much do I get? I get 1 action point for 25 seconds. This takes most likely about, I think it takes 2 minutes till you completely destroy those two marches, those two barbs. Maybe 1 minute. Let's say 1 minute till you kill two marches, two barbarian marches. It means you get 2 action points back. Means for 2 marches you actually pay only 48 action points, and that is really good. As you can see, you also get, a lot of times you get like this, the free, it's a free chain, so-called free chain, you can call it like that. Most of the times you will see only 2 barbs that are close to each other. If you see this, definitely go there, but I wouldn't recommend you to do that unless your Richard I is at least on level 40 or higher. Alright, what you would like to do in here is hitting 1 barb and waiting for that action, for that AoE skill to pop up. You have to play around with it a little bit so that AoE skill will actually hit at least one of these two. And as you can see, it's a little bit of skill play, but this is basically how you do that. You will wait and you have to play around with your march to actually your march to hit both or 3 or 1 or 2 more barbs. This was pretty lucky in my opinion. There will more or less times be like where you have these two, for example, near to each other, and then there will be like 1 march away. Go for these 2. It will still be very valuable for you to actually have 2 in 1. As for this is a 3 in 1, so this is very lucky. Sometimes you will get even luckier. Now let's find something on the map. As for example here, you can basically do a 5 in 1, but this takes a lot of skill. You have to play with it, and you can drag your, remember, you can drag your barbs just for 5 seconds away from you. Alright, if they 5 seconds, if they attack you and you don't attack them back, they'll reset. Means this will actually reset the barbs, and you gotta do that from the beginning. You don't lose your AP on that 1 barb that you have already attacked, but it will definitely lose the effect all right? And it is really important in order let me just clear this. It is really important for your march to actually work. So you will definitely need a lot of luck. You gotta it takes some skill to actually play around with it a little bit till you actually learn how to properly chain, but this is the easiest way. Start at the twos. If you, for example, all the time you see 2 chains or 3 barbarians near to each other, don't try to focus on all 3. Try to focus or connect just 2 of these barbs and learn how to do it properly on 2 barbs. You will still save a lot of AP, and once you've learned and mastered how to actually do it on 2 barbs, then you can focus on getting all of those free. Sometimes it's really lucky and you just have to wait a little bit till these 3 barbarian marches move close to each other, and then you can actually attack. But like, that's really more or less a luck play, and you gotta just wait up and then they will just connect to each other, but it's really a luck game. Now what I'm also gonna show you is the exact best commander that you should actually use, or the best march that you should actually use for proper barb training. First of all, if we gonna take a look at the march here, what are the best commanders in? Let's talk about KVK1, but I think in general those commanders that I'm gonna talk about today are just the absolutely best commanders that you should use just for barb chinning, and maybe even for some other stuff, but for barb chinning these commanders are the actual best. Well, first of all, let's talk about this guy. Richard I should be always, and I really mean it, always your number 1 troop for barb chinning. I have seen some people using Charles Martel. I mean, it's okay, you can use him, but I wouldn't recommend that. I've seen some people using Lohar. Lohar has a lot of healing, but he's not as tanky as Richard I. Although Lohar is a very good option, you might gonna stick with Richard I as he's by far the best option for barb chaining. A 5-1-1-1 Richard I that you get past level 40 is like the absolutely alpha and omega for barb chaining. He is tanky, has a lot of healing, and once he's at level, let's say 45, he's like he's undying. All right, he will be so huge for your barb training, and it's so good. Well, the march is still just half completed, and as a secondary commander there are several commanders you can use, but in my opinion a commander that everybody should use, because this commander is made for barb chaining. First of all, everybody can get that commander for free, doesn't have to do almost nothing, and he will get it every day. And of course I'm talking about the Aethelflaed. The Aethelflaed, you will get her every day for free just from the expeditions. If you don't know what expeditions are, if you look here, and as you can see, I've already claimed the daily rewards, but you will get everyday daily rewards just from the dailies, just from finishing expeditions. You will get coins, as you can see. With these coins you can actually use and buy Aethelflaed sculptures, but you will also get some of we're gonna take this treasure of warrior queen. Right now I have not finished this one, so I would get at least 10 out of her. Right now I'm getting just 8 daily, but you will get 8 daily treasures, and there is a high chance that out of 8 you will get at least 2 up to 5 daily Aethelflaeds from these treasures. So like, you will get her eventually for free, completely for free. You don't have to use any gold heads, nothing. You will get her for free. Why is the Richard I and the Aethelflaed the absolute best combination for barb chaining? Well, first of all, the Richard I is super tanky. He will heal all the time, so you don't have that many troops dead, and you can just leave him there. Alright, you don't need to bring him back because he will heal himself back again for fighting. Yes, you're gonna have your hospital filled with severely wounded troops, but your Richard I will be still almost full health on the field, fighting and chaining barbs. And why do you want to use Ethelflaed? Well, her AoE is a half circle hitting up to 5 enemies, which is huge. That circle is big, it's enough for hitting 5 enemy troops. Means it can hit up to 5 enemy barbarians, which is so impressive. I gotta show you just how strong it is. You can just go here, go there, just to the side, and that half circle, is it close half circle or is it just half circle? It will hit like a truck at least this enemy chain or enemy barb here next to us. As you can see, it is literally a half circle that she does, and she provides a lot of debuffs, and she also provides a lot of damage. Alright, and like I said, you will get her for free. There are several other commanders that you can actually use, but this troop, this march is so huge. The Richard I and the Ethelflaed, I feel like they are made for each other because this troop was created in heaven. I can't see or I can't unsee anything why you shouldn't use these two. How do you want to use your Richard I? Well, first of all, you want to get him past level 40, at least from level 40 till level 50, something in between those two. You want him to be 5111, and you want your Ethelflaed to be not higher than level 40. You don't need to unlock another star. As you can see, I have only 3 stars here because right now I'm trying to get my Richard I to 6 stars because he's my next march I'm focusing on, because I got the Hope Cloak and I'm really trying to get that Hope Cloak on my Richard I because I don't want to use Sun Tzu. I want to use my Richard I. Who do I think are another very good examples of being good for barb chaining? Well, first of all, let's just chain a barb a march here. You will always want your Richard I to be primary. Like I said, there are several people who would argue with Charles Martel. There are even some saying Pyrrhus is good. I don't think so. Alright, Pyrrhus is not good for barb chaining. There are other uses for him. So are for Charles Martel. They are more or mainly garrison commanders, so they will defend your city, but not chain barbs. So you will definitely want to use your Richard I, and then you can use your Ethelflaed. You can also use your YSG. Those are the 2 best marches you can use. For your YSG, he's not for free. He is coming a little bit later in the game, like in KVK 1 actually. So you gotta wait 90 days, I think 94 days for him to unlock. So it's taking a while actually. So you gotta think about if it's worth it going for the YSG. There are some honorable mentions. One of these honorable mentions is actually Sun Tzu. He has also some AoE, but it's not a half circle like from the Ethelflaed. You can also use Tutmosis, but same goes for him. He does not have a half circle. It's just a little bit under that. And even the Mehmed is usable, but I wouldn't recommend using using your Richard I paired with Mehmed. I just don't think that's a good march. There is one last march, one last commander that you can actually use, and that is, where is he? I think it was Kusanagi, if I'm right. Is it Kusanagi? I think it's Kusanagi. You can use him, but I wouldn't recommend that because he's just not as good as everybody thinks he is. So yeah, in general, don't use him. There are better commanders to use than Kusanagi. I would really recommend you to go for Richard and Ethelflaed, and you got the absolutely best pair um for your barb chainings. Anyways, folks, this is it with the video. I hope it helped you out a little bit. Now you know how to barb chain and with which commanders you can barb chain. Do I think you have to use your bar? You have to invest into Richard I and doing a 5-5-5-5 and expertise him? No, it really needs the 5-1-1-1 in order for him to work. Why do I have a 5-5 and I'm also pushing for this skill to be 5? Well, because I want to use my Richard, because I really want to use him even in the late game, and I'm really trying to do some more tricks with him. You will see in the later videos what do I mean with that. Anyways, I would recommend you to go for Richard I, 5-1-1-1, and that's about it. Then Ethelflaed, push her to level 40, try to have at least her first 2 skills at 5 and you will be good to go, and you will see she will be perfect. There you have some bonus damage to barbarians. That's always good, and you can actually use that skill. So after you have done that, don't do the same stupidness like I did just because I wanted some rallied army unit capacity bonus. So yeah, go for this skill, it's definitely better. Anyways, this is it with the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Goodbye.